viewer, welcome to yet again another exciting episode of the Youth Voice Show here on Hope Channel, Uganda. It's been a while and I am glad to be back as your host. My name is Edison Masereka. I am a teacher, a leader, and a public speaker. Now today, we're going to be discussing a very pertinent conversation. We're going to be addressing an elephant in the room, a topic that perhaps is not given so much attention in the church spaces. And we're going to be discussing unnatural sex practices. And to help us unpack this conversation, I am having a very interesting panel of young people. And to start with, on my immediate here, I am having my good brother and friend, Mr. Onesmus Akankwatsa. He's a lawyer. Thank you so much for being here and you're welcome to our show.
Thank you and it's a pleasure. Greetings.
Yes, it had been a while.
True.
You've been busy.
True.
Thank you so much for accepting our invite and being here
Glad
today.
to be back here.
And then right next to Onesmus, I am having my very good brother and friend, Mr. Benon Wambale, the health pandit, right?
Yeah,
yes, that's the name by which he goes on his TikTok and he shares some health tips.
Please follow and like and comment.
He's a healthcare practitioner.
Provider,
he's in preventive healthcare.
Exactly.
Benon, thank you so much for coming back.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes, and right next here, the only lady you're having amongst all these gentlemen is our good friend, Miss Angela Namuli. She's a medical doctor. You're welcome back to the show, Musao.
Thank you for having me.
It had equally been a while without having you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
We have missed you here. Thank you so much for being around today. And a gentleman who is a household face on this show, Mr. Laban Musinguzi.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
He's an engineer. Yes, thank you so much for coming and thank you for accepting friends to be part of this conversation. Now we are discussing unhealthy sexual practices and mainly we are going to be looking at the LGBTQ++. And we are going to be dissecting that from the Christian perspective and see how we can be able to relate to it. Like I've noted, these are not conversations we have so much mentioned in Christian spaces, on Christian sites and platforms, but today we're going to be dissecting this and you see if there is anything we could be able to learn from it. Mainly lesbian, those are females who are attracted to fellow females sexually. And then you have the gay, these are people who are male, but they're attracted to fellow males sexually. And then you have people who are bisexual. These ones are attracted to both genders. So for example, you can have myself, and when I see Namuli, I'm like, yes, that's fine. But when I see Benon, I'm like, that's equally fine. Sexually, those are bisexual. They are attracted to both genders sexually. And then you have people who are transgender. Now, the transgender are quite different. These ones say they were born with a particular gender, but they don't subscribe or ascribe to it. They choose to identify with another gender. So perhaps someone can be born male, and then they say, me, I am female. So I wake up one morning, I'm like, I am no longer Edison, call me Angela. I am just a female trapped in a male's body. And some have gone ahead to change their gender through operations and surgery done on them. Their parents in some countries, perhaps, who have gone ahead to, their child is born male, and they go ahead to do a surgery on them, and they to alter their gender to go against what is natural. And then we have the queer. Now, that one, queer plus, that represents those other sexual practices that come on there. Bestiality, there are people who would have sex with animals. Mention them, there are very many others which fall on there in the category of queer. Yes. Now, maybe about 50 years ago, this was not a conversation that was there in the world. But today, it seems to be the thing. Especially in the Western world, it has gone on to catch fire. The SDA Church has come on to release an official statement addressing this. Very many other churches all across the world, the Catholic Church, there have been battles in that church, whether they should, how should they react to them? Should they ordain priests who are gay? Something like that. In the Protestant church, it has ripped them apart. Recently, we had the Anglican Church of Uganda, the Church of Uganda cutting off from the Church of England. And
even
it was,
that of
it
Kenya.
was on some of those grounds. Very many other church groups, it has been a point of so much contestation across Christendom. So perhaps we want to see a better understanding of what this is about. So to start with, do we have people like this in the world? in the church and perhaps in our country. Have you heard about it?
I personally, I want to kickstart of this show. I had an eyewitness, actually. I saw with my 2 eyes. Before doing this Bachelor of Laws, I did a diploma in land-related courses. So one day we got a gig to go and work with the colleagues of mine in some place around town, which I will not speak. So reaching there, we were a group of around 4 or 5 people, and some had to do some boundary openings of the land and the rest. Reaching there, we came into a fence. The house was beautiful. You could actually tell that this house, whoever stays here has money. Now, the person who had contacted us was a woman by the looks. So, we entered there, and the first instructions she gave us were, you guys are still energetic, you youths, and you're looking handsome. Make no mistake of even mentioning a simple word to my wives you'll find here. So now we're like, to your wives.
Yet she's female.
Yes, she's female, but she was masculine in nature. I think she was doing some kind of gym and the rest. And so when she warned us, she told us, do what has brought you here, do your work, go. Whatever you see inside is none of your business. So something now rang in our minds. Because I grew up thinking this is a myth, these people don't exist, and, you know. So we entered, some were doing boundary openings and the rest, and a young, beautiful-looking brown girl with nyash was inside there in the house. And this young girl tells us, Papa Adiwa. Where is Papa?
Referring to the lady.
The lady. Now, like, I had to ask the lady, who is Papa? The one who brought you here. I'm like, this person is kind of gigantic and in nature. She's like, yeah. So that's the Papa. And she said yes. And to cut the story short, the girl says, I find happiness and peace with Papa. And not only was she the woman around,
Also the man of the house.
she also, this Papa had also other women around. Like you would look at a Muslim who is a Hajj.
Female man of the house.
Actually, the Hajj of the Hajj of the house. And he found me having a jazz with this woman. I nearly lost all the money. I had to first confess to the lady that I was sure I did not saying anything to this. We had to go to the cameras, view our jazzes, to make sure that I'm not even stealing the woman of the house. One of the colleagues of mine was doing plumbing in the house, went into the bathroom, saw these sex toys and the rest, and he came yelling, Onesimus, Jangola Abe. Then the woman is like, now you guys are at the risk of losing all the money. And she told us, in about an hour, make sure you go on. We're like, but it will not be done in an hour. So she tells us, I have visitors coming. So now one colleague of mine was inquisitive to know. So he says, let's prolong the working sessions so that we see where the visitors. Lo and behold, we prolonged something to be done in 30 minutes. People did it in 1 hour, and around 5 expensive cars began coming. And it was, lo and behold, a group of fellow women. And
wow. Thank you for sharing in that regard, Onesimus. Have you guys heard about anything like that?
I personally have known someone who is transgender. Someone, they are physically male, but then inside they feel they are women. Their conversations, you'd find this person having a conversation with girls, and they're talking about the kind of boys they would go for. And he's fitting into the conversation, and he's giving ideas like, I wouldn't go for that one, I wouldn't go for that one, I wouldn't do that, no, that one, no. Such a person, I've come across such a person.
Wow.
And they feel they feel peace when they are with
Like it's normal, eh?
when they are with the female gender, and when you're together talking about now boy stuff, they feel like out of place. So I've come
Angela, the
across
look
that
on your
person.
face. What are you thinking?
I'm shocked because for me the one place I have experienced these people is on the internet, and like these WhatsApp channels. I would go there. There is a channel I entered, and then people were confessing, and one guy was confessing, like for him he became gay and how he became gay. And I am still, because I have not experienced a person and I have not come face to face with them, but I know they are there, and they are there. They are Ugandans, and they are even probably some of them are in church. Some of them are not confident to come out and say, "Hey, this is what I am," because of course, if you know you are sinning, you hide. We hide. So I haven't experienced, but on the internet, it's everywhere. If you want, you can just find it.
Yeah. Mine is, okay, it falls in the same realm. I have a friend. He was younger than me, a bit older, like 8 years. So I saw them grow, P2, P3, but when he reached P7, he was expelled from school. And the issue was he was sodomizing. He had sodomized many of the fellows
In P7.
in a primary school.
Primary school.
My. Wow. Okay, now, this thing, is it nature or it's nurture? That has been a long debate about this whole thing. People say, that's how I am. That's how I was born. But we all know from the scriptures and from biology and science, we have you health workers here. People are born male or female.
Yeah.
There are a few rare occasions of what we call these people that perhaps have. We're talking about
Sissies.
before we came to the show. People who are born with perhaps
XY
deformity,
chromosome.
and perhaps someone has both male and female reproductive organs.
Yeah.
But that's a very small margin of the population. And surprisingly, those are not the people in the limelight talking about being gay or homosexual.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something like that. The people that are coming out in this regard are actually someone you can see. This is Onesimus, and he's
He
a
was
man.
a male.
And then all of a sudden, you start seeing him putting on like a woman and doing makeup and talking like a lady.
Yeah.
Is it nature or it's nurture?
Let me just give an opinion about that. More common than not, it's nature. They've been nurtured. They've been nurtured. Most times now, like I can imagine this young boy who was expelled from primary. If we go and try and find out what has happened to him, he has probably been abused. Someone has done that to him, and now he's doing the same. We used to have the rumors in high school that some kids, I never got to see one particular, but we would have rumors. Their kids, they are rich, they are being sponsored by Bazungu guys, and those Bazungu have told them to go into high schools to do what? To spread that thing. And in high school, in like single-sex schools, you find they are there. They plant them like seeds. So they are most likely going to be nurturing them into that thing. Most times, you people, let me tell you the truth. Women are attracted to men. And men are attracted to women. And not the other way around.
How do I look at
How
Benon
do you
and
start
then-
and start?
when Angela is here?
Now, let me tell you, Edson, something. You see, like, there is in that group, in that WhatsApp channel, that gentleman who was confessing, he was saying, my journey to self-discovery. He's saying that self-discovery.
Discovering himself as a female now.
Discovering himself as a gay. But his story says he was abused when he was in high school. Senior 1. Older boys of senior 4 would go to dorm, and they do what? They do this thing to him at first. They'll do it to him in the dorm, in the bathroom, and then right now he's like, I don't know, 22, 23, and he's saying self-discovery. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
They have been groomed. They have been nurtured. And what does it mean? It is reversible. It's not like, this is who I am.
Oh, yes.
This is how I have been made. No, our thoughts are nurtured by our experiences. So you start to think this is who you are, but really, it's your psychology.
But how about nature? Aren't there things which are perhaps nature, but they can be reversed? For example, if I am maybe born with a bad temper, is that something I'm going... There are some people who have always said, no, maybe this is how I am. Maybe someone is impatient, someone, they have a bad temper, and someone keeps saying, this is how I am. But I think those are things which can be worked on. And you could improve and you change. If it seems to deviate from the norm, it's something which can be changed. And you improve and you become a better person. Yes, Benon?
I don't think there is a gay chromosome, like you're born and then they a
gay gene.
A gay gene that you're going to be born, and then before you're 6 years, we know that you're what? We know that you're gay. These are things, maybe the environment that person has grown up in, like how she has explained, being abused. And even there are some cases where someone now, like the ladies, someone has been disappointed previous times, very many times, with men. And then she somehow finds comfort. So slowly by slowly, you start finding comfort in your fellow...
Solace in fellow women.
You want to be around them. They're not disappointing you. Before you know it, you are now getting deeply attracted to them.
This is the thing. Even if men have disappointed you, it is still unnatural for you to start thinking that women will not disappoint you. Let me tell you, women disappoint. Girls disappoint each other more than men disappoint. Because today, let me say you have girlfriends, I don't know, the ladies will tell us, but ladies who have their friends who are females, they disappoint each other every day, every now and then. So you saying your boyfriend has disappointed you is not an excuse. What is going to make them to start thinking about the other gender is because maybe someone has told them about it. They have seen it on the internet. You understand?
Yes.
Actually, I have a practical example. A friend of mine opened up to me and she told me, Onesmus, you know what? Bamenyo mutima sichaina chakuwayo mukwana. She was actually heartbroken. And one of the friends who broke her heart was my friend, myself, a friend of mine. So this friend of mine, after breaking her heart, after doing the abortion and the rest, the guy put off the phones and he had actually the term which they normally use, Nasao line. He ran. So this girl had a history of around 6 gentlemen that were playing around her. So she told me, I want to try the other side of female and female to see
if it's possible.
Will my fellow girls had me and
Laban.
I want to somehow, I don't know, we may stay in the same line. I believe in that the human nature is sinful. And who taught the first
gay person?
It is something that can happen even in isolation.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm one of those who are at odds with statements that these things are foreign to Africa. And I'm an enthusiastic Bible scholar and a historian. I can prove to you for what time here that these things are not foreign to Africa. True. These things can even come from isolation, even without exposure.
I remember an experience, just to interrupt you a little, I remember an experience, I think that's should be about 18 to 20 years ago. I was just a young boy. I think I was around 7, 9 years old, depending. And this was before, I was in a deep village in Kasese. This was before TVs were there. Newspapers were not there.
No internet, no phones.
No internet, no phones. 20 years ago, there were no smartphones. All we did was just listen to the radio news, something like that. And I heard of a story. There was a man in our village, a man who was already in his 30s and married, and he sodomized a boy of, I think he was a boy of around 13 years.
Yeah.
And this man was taken to prison and he spent there by that time, Uganda had not even started having conversations on LGBTQ. We didn't have laws. There was nothing. It was not there.
Yeah.
And you see, always government picks interest in things when they start happening. That's when government puts up laws.
Yeah.
The conversation was not there. And this man sodomized a boy. So like you're saying, these are natural occurrences sometimes.
They can happen in our sinful minds.
It's not something about the West.
Yeah.
No, always look at the West, the West, the West. And you hear some of our people in government saying those people are going to bring those things here.
Yeah,
those things
they're
have
already
been
here,
before
true.
those people
Yeah.
got them.
There are traces in our history.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think maybe it will come later, but that understanding that makes us even more serious. We change the perspective of how we look at it, and we go back at a personal level and be more conscious, because it can happen. It can happen even without a television.
When you hear of a man who got an animal, a goat, you've heard of those stories, yeah? Like a man gets a goat.
Nobody groomed
Like
him.
who groomed him? Or someone finds
Yeah.
a mad person on the road, like a mad person, and
Yeah.
you sleep with them, a man in their right senses.
Yeah.
How about men who, you hear of a man, 30 years old, and he gets a child of 2 years old.
2 years
who
old.
groomed
Who
him
groomed
that
him?
way?
So I think it just
In a
comes.
sinful mind, anything can happen.
Yes. I think these are all deviations from what God has put in place.
Yeah.
And the devil
that
always
work?
wants to counterfeit whatever good thing God has put in
Yeah.
place. And this could be one of those strategies. Before we go for a break, we are going to discuss more about, now this is all around us. You realize that these days that it's saturated in the media all around us, that even when you don't want to, you're going to find it in some random novel you're reading. You're going to find it in some random movie. Like these days, every Hollywood movie has a gay character or a lesbian character or something like that. In games, it's being put there. In children's cartoons, it's being put there. Like it's all over us. In the songs that we listen to, it's being put there, something like that. How do we relate to this?
Well, let me start, because I'm a person who likes literature and movies and all that, and I've realized that in at least every series there must be a character somewhere, even if they just throw something. And what shocks me is that a boy. There's a character. There can be a character about a boy, and then the boy is gay, and then brings the boyfriend or girlfriend, the boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, the one who is male, and brings the person home, and the parent is what?
He's
and
okay
the parent is okay, and like, hey, you're welcome, and tells the child, as long as you're what? As long as you're happy.
As long as you love him.
And
as
they'll
long as
make
you
it
love
look
him.
like it's a good thing. Perhaps you could have a story where you have this very good person, and this is like a side habit they have. Now, like if there's a young person watching such a story, what do they want you to learn? Like maybe someone's a
it's
successful
okay.
doctor, a successful musician, but they are lesbian.
Yeah, so they're trying to, like Shah said it, they're trying to bring it out that it's okay if you fall in love with a man when you're a man. It's okay. You don't have to go down there and and hide. Come out, fall in love with your man. If all goes well, marry them and continue.
But
with
is it
whatever.
actually okay? Maybe from the lens of the Bible, anyone to say something about that?
Yeah, when you look at the Bible, God reveals it in the first chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2. It was God's intentional design to create two beings with
Opposite sex.
distinct, male and female. And when you go to verse 27 of Genesis, it will tell you that he created them in his own image.
Yes.
Male
And female
and
created
female
he them.
created them. But when you go to the next verse, it immediately connects the two genders to being fruitful,
Yes.
multiplying,
Marriage and
and
filling
feeding.
the earth.
So when you look at this, it was this distinction, this differentiation in gender, it is not just a physical concept. It is a sacred trust.
To fulfill the plan.
Yeah, to fulfill the
plan of God.
The responsibility man has given, God has given man to unite with God in the procreation, to be co-creators with God. And when we understand this, it changes the way we view our sexuality. It should be in that line God has designed it to be. So anything that comes in when we look at same-sex what, that is not heterosexual, they are all at odds with this. And this that comes to show us the purpose of creation, a relational harmony, and extending life. This is all threatened by this same sex. And when you read
God,
through the whole Bible, it is the same theme. Leviticus 18 will tell you,
do not lie with a man.
Even with animals.
As with a woman.
It's a detestable sin.
In these new translations of our Bible, when you go to Timothy, Corinthians, they are very straight. There is no place
in heaven.
Sexuality.
That is the term they use.
Wow, interesting. I think we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to look more at the biblical perspectives in this regard, but also we're going to look at aspects of how we can relate to people like this as Christians, but also the kind of help we can give them. But also, we have maybe influencers and some of the people we look up to in society who have come out to be like this. How should we relate to their content and all things like that? We're going to be discussing that in the next part. We take a short break and we come back. From that very short break, and we are discussing unnatural sexual practices. This is the Youth Voice Show here on Hope Channel Uganda. Remember, you can be part of the conversation by following on our YouTube channel. You can leave your comments there. You can go to the different social media platforms of Hope Channel Uganda, and you can share what you think about the show. And thank you for keeping it Hope Channel Uganda. Unnatural sexual practices. Before we went for the break, we had dissected more of LGBTQ, and we had talked about whether we have people like that and how it's all over us and something like that. But I want to bring in Dr. Namuri. I want to talk about the health implications of some of the people who are engaged in these practices. Because always when you deviate from what is normal or what should be done and you do the opposite, there has to be consequences. Yes, if God designed that it's a man and a woman, by the time you go a different way, there has to be consequences. Are there health implications if someone is engaged in some of this, to the man, to the woman? Yes. Yeah,
there are very many health implications, and I'm going to first of all begin with the most undesirable one, which is HIV. HIV, like homosexuals, people who are homosexuals in HIV, we call them special populations. Because for them, most times people who are homosexuals, they do not, in medicine, we do not consider them as having the, like, let me say, the normal, cognition or like the normal thinking patterns. So they are less likely to use protection. You understand? So when people are homosexuals, and most of them are victims of rape and what, so they are more likely to have HIV. But also the fact that they are homosexuals, the route they are using, the anal area has very thin blood vessels. Very thin membranes. So that they are not, that's not it's not naturally made for
Yes.
that. So it easily ruptures. And even if you're using protection, still the chances of getting it is very high. Then the other one is the muscles, they are not used for that again. Okay? So when you are constantly rubbing them and expanding them and what, they are going to weaken. So you're going to have prolapse. I don't know. The word prolapse means they fall out. Your intestines will start falling out.
And that's why they will need
They will need pampers. And because now, like, people are different and our bodies are different. One person might need 3 or 4 times of doing the thing, and it will prolapse. Another one might need only once. Only once, and it will prolapse. And you will have to come back to the hospital with saw. You come back again with saw. You understand? It's nasty. The people who have engaged in it are regretting. So many of them are wondering what are they going to do. But it has happened.
I think they're most likely not to live longer then.
Yeah.
It means they are weak people.
They are very weak and their intestines keep coming out. They are prone to infections. And then the women, there are unnatural ways of doing it. The other time, there was a comment going around on Twitter that cancer, throat cancer is now getting very, very common, and the doctor was saying we need to stop taking hot tea. Then someone commented, they were like, you guys are having oral sex. And oral sex is is related to cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is caused by HPV, right? It's a virus. That virus can be transmitted to you who is using your mouth, which is, of course, an unnatural way of doing it. So you're going to get your what? Your throat cancer because you're using an unnatural method. So also that cancer is probably going high because you guys are changing. Not you guys. Everyone here who is watching, you're all changing your. That's an unnatural way of doing it. We need to go back to the what? To the natural one. Then I will not forget mental health.
Sure.
People who are involved in all of these things, their mental health is terrible. And when we talk about people who are at risk of suicide, it's these people, LGBTQ. Most times, most of them are depressed, they are anxious, they are confused, they are sad, they are hopeless, they are helpless. You understand? What is going to give you peace is to remember the natural way of doing the thing and actually get into line. You understand? So mental health is a major challenge. Most of them, and they are scared to seek for help. They are scared to seek for counseling. They think they are going to be judged. But actually, when you seek for mental health services, you can receive them. And they will assist you, and you will be better. Yeah.
Thank you, Angela. I'm going to bring in Benjamin Onesimus for the legal perspective. But before that, I've been wondering, with those catastrophic consequences that Angela has mentioned, why would someone still go ahead and do it? I have not heard of, especially when you're most likely to die sooner, when you're most likely to have these diverse health effects.
Even
why would
suicide.
someone still go ahead and do it? And my question is, who is behind this? And what is their motive? I don't know if about you guys, but we've heard of these things of population control and all that. Could those be the same people behind this? There's a preacher who remarked that if the whole world went gay, and you come back perhaps 100 years from now,
50.
the human race would be extinct. Because it means would not be... God wanted us to reproduce. And it means if everyone goes down that road, we are not reproducing, and our population. So could it be that someone is perhaps aiming at stagnating the world population? What are they aiming at? What is their intention? What do they want to gain? I don't know if anyone here can try and answer some of those questions. But I know it's Satan behind this. But the people that he's working through on this world, what do they want to gain? Before you come in for a legal perspective.
Yeah, well, if those people are there, well, and we are sure they are there, and then they're putting us in danger. Because, just like you have said, if they took, a commentator I follow, he said that if they took 50 gay people on an island and they took 50 gay people, 50 straight people on another island, and then you came back 50 years from there, these people would be dead, and the other people would be times 5 or
Wow.
times 10. Times 10. So if someone is coming and wants to reduce population, then he's doing and is coming the direction of gayism, LGBT plus, then he's doing great work. But I think we have forgotten now the spiritual aspect. In other words, we have gone away from the biblical aspect. We have gone away from now following God. Because if you are following God, if you believe in God, then I don't think you can even think about it. Even if it comes, when you relate with someone, there's a way you start to. I don't want to say fall in love, but there's a way you start, getting them, understanding them. Even if it comes and biblically you are straight, you are following God, you didn't think of anything like that. But here is the interesting part. Those people are adopting children. Those people are adopting children.
That means they still want the ideals that a family stands for.
They're getting sperm donors and they're giving them sperms and they are raising children.
Or surrogacy, they are getting children through that.
They're getting children. So I don't know. I don't know where and how these people are taking.
But also, why are they targeting young people and young energies?
Yeah.
Why?
And just the other thing I just want to add, they use toys, yeah? People, they use toys. And they've found a way of even of making these toys a work-based, in that, how this side, it's rough. People have now even use lubricants so that, the flow, the movements or whatever, the flow.
There is no friction.
There's no friction. There's no friction. There's no friction. So people are thinking, how you're thinking to make mission better, how to bring people more to the what, to the church. People are thinking how best can they make gay life better.
Yes. I know that our time is fast spent. Onesimus, I want you to briefly talk about the legal perspective, maybe in Uganda and also world over.
Initially, before now, when you look at the thing, let me say gayism. The first person to come up and publicly declare was a German lawyer in the 18th century. And this gentleman actually termed and brought a good name called urining. That was actually the first term to mean gayism and the rest. And over the times, L was the first actually to come, the lesbian, the G came about, and then the B, and then the T came in the 1990s, something of a kind. So around 28th of June, 1969, an uprising came in the States, and people wanted to go against the NYPD, the New York Police Department, claiming now these are rights, because initially before, the UN had adopted the United Nations Declarations of Human Rights.
Yes.
And those human rights, they define human rights to be inborn,
Yes.
natural,
Yes.
and not state given. Even when you look at those, the LGBT people, they're like, this is our right, because it's inborn of us. For example, when you look at the asexuals now, they don't have any interest in any person. They're asexuals. So they're like, this is our inborn right.
Nature.
It's inherent, and since
can't
actually
change
it's not
it.
even state given, we okay with that. So that uprising came in 1969, and since then, some countries chose to adopt and change a little of their rules and their laws simply because they felt like now these are inborn rights which need to be recognized. But in Uganda, our president and our leaders chose to go by our customs and norms.
Yeah.
What do we believe in? What do we stand for? What is it that we are against? So we came up with an act, 2013, which wasn't actually put more into practice in 2023. Now, when this thing was really
Rampant.
high,
Yeah, there was a
we
lot
come
of
in
noise.
with the Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023, which has a lot of sanctions, actually. For example, if you promote homosexuality, they will put you to jail for 10 years.
Yeah.
If you do that act itself, life imprisonment. If you do aggravated homosexuality, that looks at sleeping with the person without the consent, sleeping
Below
with
the age of 18.
then sleeping with the person above the age of 75.
And then someone who is HIV positive.
That's all aggravated.
Aggravated.
They'll jail you. And also there is attempted aggravated. Just me attempting to do so. 10 years there. And if you do homosexuality, at least if you attempt twice, now you become a senior. Now a lifetime imprisonment. So the legal perspective in Uganda, it's purely against homosexuality.
Amen.
And we have to uphold that in our country.
Yes, and I think more than what the country says, we go back to what the scripture says.
Yeah.
There are countries where it has been legalized. So should the Christians say now it's legal by state law, we should now go ahead and do it. Laban, you have a burning issue.
Yeah.
And I also want, okay, first make your submission and then I'll give you another question.
Yeah. On that issue of the law, I want to be deliberate. Though God is the creator and the moral law giver, he does not force obedience. He doesn't. And he only draws by love.
Okay.
Obedience is a service of love. I'm objective on this. Why? Because Christians or people who look at this should look at it as not as something they are bringing to us like tangible. Maybe a vaccine. This is a behavior. And the Christians should be very careful in trying to legislate their spiritual beliefs in a way that discriminates or punishes those who may fail or who may reject what they believe in.
Spiritual beliefs
I'm
faith is supposed to be independent of state.
I'm coming. So why? This is not entirely activism. This thing is not coming, yes, there are people pushing this, but it's not entirely activism. Parents, or even all of us, have become responsible in the coming of this. We have handed over phones and screens to our children, and we have looked away. We have sent children out to study, and we have not, what do I say? You are busy shouting or arguing with your neighbor, which MOP supported more the law. Tomorrow, your very son, the sins, these are not just sins in movies. These are seeds that are growing. Tomorrow, the very law you are pushing is going to criminalize your very son. Some people are just lured into this, as in
money.
Yeah, sometimes money.
Sometimes bullying in high school.
Yeah, and there should be firmness, but also with love while handling these issues. Yeah, and I think it is very important. So we should be sober, because the devil is not only moving like a lion roaring, but also like a snake, silently, looking for whom to do what?
To
venomize. And in silent channels that the law will not see. The law will not touch TV channels. It will not. The law will not see in your school where you don't know what is happening in schools. So are you doing your work? This is not something that we should keep quiet now. As we are teaching sexual education to children, they should know that there is also homosexuality.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
was-
Yes,
there,
Ben.
there was something that was trending. There's a time when it trended for a full week. Fear women.
Yes.
Fear women trended. So I'm thinking now, someone who is just starting to understand, because of course for us those ones who are mature, they know like fear women.
What it really means, eh?
But someone who's just growing up, yeah, you're growing up and in that stage where you're capturing things. So when you see that thing and fear women, and somehow it can twist your way of seeing things. So some of these things we need to be careful with them.
Yes. Now, the pop culture, that we have these things saturated all over us. In movies, in books, in literature, we've talked about this. But also some of the people that we perhaps follow, some people who are influential in society are in this regard. My good brother here has a great love for soccer.
True.
And we have so many top soccer players who have come out as gay. Something like that. Maybe some top movie stars, some top sportsmen.
Even I played last
and
season in
things
soccer.
like that.
Yeah,
If
the armband.
if you
Yeah.
look at the armband of the captains of every team,
Yes.
And the flags and
some actually were fined for writing "I love Jesus," like
Yes.
that of, was it Crystal Palace, Maguire, and other captains.
Crystal Palace.
How do we continue following some of these influencers, taking in their content, well knowing that these are values which they stand for? In as much as perhaps he's doing so well on the pitch, in as much as perhaps this person is doing so well in terms of their music, how do we continue, as Christians, how do we continue relating to their content, well knowing that they don't stand for sound
the right thing.
principles and values?
The Bible is very clear. Don't conform to the patterns of this world. Romans 12, verses 2. However much these people are here. In the recent retreat, Pastor Msonina had this to say. He said, the more we pitch ourselves near sinful places, the more we're going to be eaten up slowly. That's how actually youths out there begin going to the bar. I'm only taking a soda. And every weekend is going to the bar.
Just take a soda.
Just take a soda.
Before they realize it's going to be now not even a soda and a beer and something else.
Some
To
punch,
New Best
some
to buy a
punch.
soda.
Now you can't go to Invest to buy a soda and you're confusing us. So the more we ignore that part of it, because we look unto them as our mentors, we love them, we love
Yes.
the way they play soccer. The more we ignore that and we're like, let me let go of the other part of him and
Let me
only choose on his talent, on what he says, on how actually he does his stuff, the more silent we're going to be eaten up.
Yeah.
Like the Laban was saying, that the devil is like a snake, moving slowly. The more slowly and slowly we're going to be eaten up
You
before
start
we realize.
compromising in these small things and you're overlooking them, and eventually it keeps growing.
It keeps
The more you conform and you accept, you're like, it's no more. It's no more. The captains have now the armbands of this and.
And there is something they were talking about, desensitizing. I don't know if you've heard about it. You see, when they put gay people, just a small snippet of something gay in a movie or in a show, they don't want to exactly make you gay. They want to desensitize you, to start seeing it all over the
Appreciate
place.
them and,
No, like, because at first, no, I was seeing Edson's face when he was talking about a young boy in primary, and Edson was like, but with time, if you are hearing this all the time, this boy, the other side, this boy, you start saying,
It's no more.
that's desensitizing. You stop, and you will not even feel bad if your children come out and say, I'm gay. You'll be like, oh. You will not be that shocked. They want to desensitize you to the point that you think this is actually no, man. That desensitizing is the most dangerous thing. It means even you yourself, you're not disgusted enough to stop doing it or to not doing it. You're not disgusted enough to stop your children, to stop. If you had, I have had it. Someone was telling me in a certain school, a church school, it's like it has its foundations on the church, but there were gay people in that school, and the administration could not chase them away because the children have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, like their parents are giving their school. Why? Because you are desensitized. You feel like it's
We're
not
going to
disgusting
end up
enough.
accepting it.
Yeah, you end up accepting it because it's giving you something. You yourself, you're not gay, but these gay people are spreading the habit all over the school. Who is gaining?
But even if it means letting go of that mentor, you can't let go.
We let them go.
You remember
Yeah.
what happened to Uganda as a country? Uganda lost its AGOA
Yeah.
funding.
From the United States.
And the president
Was
came
like-
out and publicly said, it's okay, we shall survive. When they put sanctions on the speaker.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And because of time, as Christians, how should we relate to them? If you woke up tomorrow morning and maybe someone you know from the church and you get to know they're lesbian or they're gay, how are you going to relate to them?
Well,
Bro Masereka, the way we handle addicts, though it should be in a more sensitive way.
True.
Because these people, some of them, they are into this and they are chained.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read even in my church, the church I belong to, I've come across articles of these people, and they are seeking for help. So, should we disconnect from them? Should we discriminate them?
No.
Jesus is calling them to save them.
So we point them to Jesus.
Yeah, and we should be the media.
the hospital.
We should be the vehicle of their salvation. We should be there. Yes, we should receive them. And one thing is that we can't do that ignorantly. We should get this knowledge. We should know what is sexual orientation and behavior. We should know these things.
What do they know? What goes
Yes.
on in their minds?
Yeah, such that we have a way of handling
Not that
this.
we are condoning what they do, but with Jesus loving the sinner but not the sin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because even if we look away, 10, 20 years, we shall wake up when they are all over us.
So you actually think it's a conversation that the church should pick interest in and
Yes.
see how we can help these people.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and also the other thing is that when this person comes, do not pinpoint them, because they've been pinpointed outside there. They've been talked to, but in some way bring them in a
Close.
secret space and talk to them. Try to get their view. Probably you might be thinking that someone just chose to do it, like how some people say it, but but behind there someone has passed through a very bad experience, maybe has been abused and all that sorts that we've been discussing about. So it's important that we try to speak to them, not to support them that Jesus died for
help
all. It's
them.
okay. It's you. It's now between you and Jesus. But let's try to help them understand that what they are doing
It's not good.
is not
So we
good.
should look at them the way we look at adulterers, thieves, fornicators, and all these other sinners.
Exactly.
And we should look at them in the lens of how Jesus would see them and how he seeks to help and transform them, but
Exactly.
not to encourage them in remaining where they are, but at the same time not to conform to what they are doing as ourselves. Okay?
Yes, I need to add something. It has been burning me. Most of us, we may not be in the exact space to be in close contact with these people. Why? Because they are contagious. Edson, most of us, we are Christians, but we are not actually grounded. Even if we are not gay, but we are
can
not
easily be moved.
exactly. Someone is going to tell you, I'm going to get you this, then we are going to give you a scholarship in Germany or something, and then boom, you are gone as well. That is why it's better for them. It's better for us to get older, let me say, elders, like responsible people who we can trust, that they will be able to handle these people
Yes.
and not be
Don't handle it
influenced.
yourself. If you can run, run.
Run,
And secondly,
exactly.
we want to do also the spiritist work.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to preach, to convert this
Right?
person
And
from
convince. Yeah.
A friend of mine told me a friend wanted to convert somebody in those systems, and before you could realize,
we are
Him, he was
accommodating-
converted.
We are
also
accommodating them
converted.
into our spaces. That's problematic.
Yeah,
you don't go
it's
to the
not
bar
good.
in order to convert drunkards.
You don't.
You don't go to the
Yeah.
brothel in order to convert prostitutes. Thank you so much. We're going to end the conversation there. Yeah, but most importantly, we've agreed it's not nature, it's nature. It's something that can be changed. And it's a very bad thing. We wouldn't encourage any young person to go there. But also before God, it's a very bad thing, and whoever is doing it is actually on a path of destruction, and they need to
Exactly.
retract their steps before it's too late. But most importantly, if there is any young person out there who has gone down that road, it's not too late, and to retract your steps and get back to doing what is right. Seek help. Go for rehabilitation. Go for health treatment, and retract your steps before your life can be destroyed by such habits. Otherwise, thank you so much, friends, for being part of this conversation.
Thank you.
It's been very fruitful, and I know that young people out there have learned something from it, and someone is going to get helped from this conversation. From myself and the rest of the team here at Hope Channel Uganda, it's been the Youth Voice. See you next time.